Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
We'll get into it. Yeah, first up, really JD. So the order is JD calls out Puff. Puff says he wants Dre. We're here to talk about what makes sense, what doesn't. This isn't the first time we've had this discussion. I know when it came to Puff and Dre, I actually agree with Puff. I think historically, the thing that makes the most sense would be Dre and Puff, even though their catalogs don't match up well because of R&B.
Yep.
But JD and Puff, if you're talking about matching catalogs, I feel like that's not necessarily a versus I want to see, only because there's not a lot of synergy there. It's going to be R&B. What happens when you Let It Burn goes up against A Story to Tell, right? It's just like, can any one of those lose? Is it a tie? I don't know. So what do you think?
All right. So we've discussed this in depth many times. We've discussed who can go up with who. And I personally believe Puff and JD is too lopsided.
Yeah.
If they're playing R&B only, great matchup, head to head, you can't say who will win. And you might can lean towards JD.
I would. I'm not sure. I would have to see. Actually, I would. But I don't even want to do that because the point of a versus is you're supposed to reward all of their work, and I don't think you shouldn't tie a hand behind the back.
No, you shouldn't.
And I told you, JD is kind of like the Tony Braxton of producers, to where he's in a sweet spot where he can't trade up because it'll be kind of an unfair matchup if he starts going up against some of those Dre's and Puffs of the world. But he also can't trade down because if he starts going up against some producers underneath him, it'll be a landslide in favor of him. So there's really not an ideal matchup. For me, what I look for when it comes to versus battles, I look for storylines, common denominators. So with JD and Puff now have a storyline because JD calls out Puff up. Yeah, so now you have that, and I think that would be good for TV. But ultimately, East Coast, West Coast is box office.
It's history.
Biggie versus
it's
Death Row versus Bad Boys. I think a lot of people will want to see that. And to me, their catalogs don't match up well.
Nope.
But
nope.
And their caliber of artists do. So for every Biggie, Puff has,
you got
Dre has an Eminem.
Yeah, you got Eminem. Matter of fact, Dre has more. Dre has more.
That's what I'm getting to. And for every The Locks, Dre has an NWA. I feel like you can't sun him on the strength of
the rap side. No.
Yeah, like basically, if you're from the West Coast and you were out in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, or early 2000s, more than likely, Dre produced some of your records. So I think that's the best matchup possible, only because the storyline is box office. It's just Now
it's kind of like what it is. It's like Brandy and Monica.
It is.
It's history. But now, the problem I have with that though, Barry, is once Puff goes into an R&B bag, Dre has a few.
Just be about it.
Upbeat. He has some upbeat R&B songs, but when it's time to play some ballads, slow songs, like that I need this on a tape type, a playlist. He doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, and
zero.
What would you say would be the most lopsided? Not lopsided as in victory, as in the playlists don't match up versus that you've seen so far.
The most lopsided?
Not in terms of competition, in terms of the catalogs just don't mirror each other. You got this person's playing rap, this person's playing, I don't know, Miami bass or something like that. I can't think of something, so I would like to.
I think they matched everybody up. I'm trying to go as far back as I can. I think everybody matched up. They matched everybody up perfectly.
Yeah.
So even the Preem and RZA
early on. So
they still were good.
And that's the point that I'm trying to get to. Versus they've been strategic on making sure that the matchups make sense. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that Puff is calling out Dre, I already think that some of that stuff is in the works. I just really think he's promoting a fight that's already, him and Dre already signed on the dotted line. It's just a matter of time.
Maybe. Snoop said that Dre said he's definitely not doing it.
But that's what everybody says until they do it. Right now, it doesn't make sense because he's going through the whole divorce thing. So I never saw him coming out this soon. Like he just got ordered to pay his soon-to-be ex-wife like $1.5 million, and this month. So not just $1.5 million this month for her legal fees. So now's not the time to be spinning records, I think. But who knows?
But you're making money though. You're also making money from this.
I don't know if he hurting for money like that.
He's not hurting money, but
I just think it's a stressful thing for him right now. He just had like a brain aneurysm or something like that. So I don't know if he coming out the woodworks anytime soon.
Yeah.
But all right, we agree, kind of makes sense. Now with JD, I've mentioned in the past, I feel like storyline wise, him and Dallas Austin, they're friends. They went through a beef. They produce similar artists. So it's like, to me, I'm like, okay, there's enough storyline there where it would be all in fun. And I'm like, okay, I could see that happening. I think Dallas Austin is the only person that could probably match up with JD, not necessarily catalog wise, but I'm like, okay, it's enough to where it would be okay for TV. Atlanta will be get some recognition. And I think that's the only person you compare.
So if you want to do Atlanta wise, yes. But also Dallas doesn't have rap. So JD can go into a rap bag. He can play Bone Crusher. He can play Welcome to Atlanta. He can play the song he got with Jay-Z, Money Ain't a Thing. So he does have Let Me Hold You, Bow Wow. Like he has rap songs that are iconic in our, in hip hop, and Dallas doesn't have that.
Here's the thing though, like there is a sound.
Things.
There is a sound when I hear JD's different. When you hear JD music, to me it's just that's Atlanta. It's just an Atlanta sound. I'm not necessarily fighting over if it's rap, if it's R&B at that point. It's just Atlanta. That's the only reason why I said Dallas Austin would match up with him well, because now all I'm hearing is like Atlanta influence, right? And then anybody you pair up JD with, we already agreed, he just doesn't match up well with anyone else. Either he's going to have to go up against somebody that's straight R&B or somebody that's straight rap. I would say because of that New Jack. Yeah,
and that's not going to be good.
Yeah, so to me, this is like the best storyline you could give him. I'm like, yeah, it probably makes more sense.
He probably could have went up against like a Missy or went up against a Timbaland, because Timbaland has both.
Timbaland not gonna do that though. Timbaland is already.
I'm just throwing out names who he could have, because Timbaland literally has both R&B.
Yeah,
and he has both.
Timbaland would be the best matchup. Unfortunately, he's already went twice.
Yep.
And he's not going to do that. But I just automatically took his name off the table.
Yeah.
So, but
now JD did say something that was very clever. Very clever. He said, I am one of the four from this group who is in the Writers Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Yeah, I said rock and roll.
The Writers Hall of Fame.
It's him, Missy,
Jay-Z, and Dallas Austin.
Okay, Dallas was the fourth one. I forgot. See, that's also Missy or Dallas. Missy would probably have a more, I don't know. Like, I still think Dallas.
I mean, Missy can give you rap because she has all her stuff and all stuff. And now the thing that he also said,
Dallas could close the gap with some of the artists that he worked with. Like, if this person plays a Mariah Carey, that's nice. I'll play a Pink record. If this person plays Criss Cross record, that's nice. I'll play an ABC record. If this person plays, you got Boyz II Men on one side, you got Usher on the other side. I'm like, okay, some of these are the same caliber artists. and they're cut from the same ilk. Where I'm like, you're not going to embarrass Dallas out there like that. Like he's going to hold his own for at least half of those rounds, and then it'll start getting ugly.
It's going to get ugly because again, JD can go into those certain bags. He can go
play,
give you that.
He can play 8-7-1 and Confessions all day, and I'll just
but again, he can go into a rap bag, and Dallas ain't gonna have that. So JD is just one of those. He is iconic. He is a GOAT in his own right, and not even in his own right. He is a GOAT. So he's been doing it, and you can't. Puff was trying to, talk down like, well, what you gonna do when I play this? Like,
I feel like it's a lot of people from up north in the comment sections though. I feel like that's the only. I'm from Florida, but at the end of the day, Florida has so much influence from Atlanta. It's right around the corner, and down south, period. So I think people down south respect him, and that's why he deserves the verses, because they were trying him on social media this week.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a verses. So so when we look at this, so when you look at the JD, you look at the Puff, he's in the room. The problem is he just doesn't have that artist that those two guys had. And
he don't have the drama. I mean, yeah, he don't have the drama. Like at the end of the day, everybody that Dre's worked with, they're immortalized because of either the way they died or the way, the beefs that they had. You don't ever hear drama coming out of So Def.
No.
So a lot of his stuff ain't box office, it's bubblegum, but it's like, to me, it's
think about this. Think about this.
And who had the better records on the Crazy Sexy Cool album? Puff produced records on there too, and I don't really rock with his tracks like that.
But think about this. You got Puff, you got Snoop, Tupac, NWA, Eminem and 50. Eminem and 50. Let's stop. We'll stop right there.
Yeah.
What artist is on that caliber that JD had on his label?
He don't.
That's the problem. The biggest person that he would be able to give you is songs that he produced for Usher. Well, songs he produced for.
I'm thinking rap. Yeah. I'm thinking rap. Yeah, you're right. Usher.
Mariah. He produced for Mariah, so he's going to have to play those kind of records. But
he's not going to really.
Yeah.
And you can't play every Mariah record that he produced during Versus battle. It's going to get a little bit too.
Yeah,
porcelain.
Yeah. So, hey man, I'm here for all the drama.